Hey, it's Dustin with WeaponStencils.com, and I'm excited to announce a brand new product that will hopefully help you guys when it comes to transferring some of our designs to your projects. Of course, I'm finally talking about individual sheets of transfer tape. Now, some of you guys watching this may be thinking, what is that? Why do I need it? Other you guys are probably thinking, it's about damn time. So I'm going to go through how to use this stuff, and as you see, you'll find out why it's important. Alright, so the purpose of transfer tape is to transfer a multi-part stencil from its backing to your project. As you can see, I got my fake Yeti cup here that was done for me. Cerakoted in burnt browns and my logo on it. So obviously this stencil was transferred on to the cup all at the same time that I got to did it. Before some of my old videos, I was suggesting contact paper or the peel and stick like Glad wrap, and it does work, but this works a lot better. Some of those other options are kind of like last resort type of deals. I find this as the premium version of that. So what are you going to need? You're going to need a pair of scissors, probably, maybe a hook tool, maybe, and some sort of card. Like some old crappy reward card you got stuck in a drawer somewhere you never carry in your wallet or use, or even your ID or a credit card. And that's just, we'll just go through why you're using that. Alright, so first we're going to use the biohazard symbol here, because this is a multi-part stencil that usually gets transferred all at the same time. So before, the user was either having to use some sort of last resort tape or transfer each part individually themselves, which is a total pain and hard to line up. So what I find easiest to do is separate what you want to use, cut off a piece, take your transfer tape, find about the right size. This transfer tape is awesome because one, it's clear so you can see where you're putting everything. A lot of them are opaque, so once you go to transfer it to your project, you can't really see where it's going. And it's got these grid lines, so it kind of helps level everything out. Alright, so based on the grid lines, get about a 3x3. Alright, as you can see, that's going to fit over the top of that. I'm going to grab my little trusty hook tool here, peel it up. As you can see, now you can see, it's pretty clear. And that's a big deal. That really helps when you go to put it on your project. This is kind of like laying on a screen protector on your phone, if you've ever done that before. Start at one side, and it's easier just to roll it on like that, because you don't want a bunch of air bubbles in there because it'll affect the contact. I apologize about the cutouts. I keep coughing. I'm not feeling great. Take your card and just rub it on. Use the corner of the card and really push it onto the edges of the stencil. Focus on putting the transfer tape onto the actual yellow stencil, not the backing. I mean, you're going to stick it to that too, but the primary focus is to stick it onto the yellow. That way it grabs it enough to pull the yellow off of the white backing. Alright, so that should be good. Now, this is a little bit tricky part, especially because this is a pretty intricate and delicate stencil. You may find when you go to peel the transfer tape off of the backing that the yellow might not come with it. And that's just because you gotta like kind of work it a little bit with your fingernail and kind of really push it on there or grab it from a different location. This one's working pretty well. Look at that. Perfect. All came off. Now the transfer tape, so now you got the sticky side out, right? So let's say I wanted to use it on this cup. I'm not going to get super technical with how it's lined up. That's your job, not mine. But you lay it on there. The grid lines help line everything up, especially if you put it on the stencil itself even. Rub it on. At this point, you probably just use your finger. You're not really going to have to use a card or anything because this stencil material, the yellow stencil material, is very high tack, so it should be stickier than the transfer tape. It's not grabbing too well. There it goes. So I came up from this side, had a little bit better luck. Oh, you can see those little corners right there. That's very common, where it doesn't like to grab because there's not as much adhesive material on the stencil there. So if you come at more of a bulkier area, you're more likely to get it to stick. All right, there we go. All right, so now it's on. And then you're gonna have to come back over and really get it down. Most parts will be pretty good, but especially these little corners, just make sure they're stuck down there really well so you don't get fading or haze under the lines when you go to spray. So it's as easy as that. You might be able to get away with using this twice. Most likely you probably will, and it may actually make it easier because it'll be less tacky this time, which means the stencil itself will stick to your project a little bit better. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. Simple. Again, these are going to come in 8 by 12 inch sheets or so, kind of like what you see here. So these will fit, the vast majority of my designs. You can lay this down on an entire piece of broken window and lift the entire stencil up and then transfer. All right, hopefully that explains how to use the transfer tape if you weren't quite sure. These are going to be listed on the website for sale as individual sheets or in packs of 3, which will save you $1 or $2. I'm not really making any money on these. I'm listing them very cheap. The idea isn't for me to make a profit on them. It's for me to offer something that no other stencil website is offering and help my clients make their job a little bit easier. So if you want to find these on the website, I don't really have a category for these type of accessories yet. So use the search bar up in the top right corner and just type in transfer tape. It'll pop right up. Otherwise, it'll be listed under all the different types of categories or under the shop all feature, and it'll be on the last page of every one of those. Also may list it under some of the individual listings as a suggested add-on item like the biohazard, because it makes sense to purchase this with it. Hopefully that helps. If you guys have anything else that you'd like to see me list on the website that may make your refinishing job easier and be able to purchase something all from the same website, I'm all ears to hear about that as I try to expand my product line. Once again, any questions or comments, use the comments below. Hit the like button if you want. Keep subscribing. That's cool. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Thanks.